Guys, it's it's time to have that discussion. This is something I've been dreading for. I'm gonna say what feels like a definite long time. It just feels like, that this is something that we all as Marvel fans have felt like has been brewing just for a very long time. Marvel's fucked, in my opinion. I'm not necessarily sure what the heck is going on here. I mean, look, we all knew once this Jonathan Majors news broke out, and now that this thing is going to trial, we all knew that there was just a complete mystery as to what was going to happen with the Kang character in the MCU at this point. But with all the recent headlines that I'm seeing, and honestly with the phenomenal season of Loki that has just been put out, and I was honestly going to wait until Loki finished to make this video to try to give all my thoughts on just the Marvel situation in general and the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its fate. I was going to wait until Loki finished, but with these headlines that I'm seeing about them wanting to bring back... Okay, these headlines that I'm seeing about them wanting to, first and foremost, bring Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman back as Spider-Man and Wolverine to lead the Avengers in Secret Wars, and then on top of that, they're wanting to pivot from Kang to Doom, but not for the reasons you may think. I mean, yes, Jonathan Majors is in legal trouble, and they definitely need a backup plan for it, but there have been other rumors swirling around that the reason that they're doing this pivot is because because Ant-Man Quantumania was a humongous flop, and they feel like they're just completely losing it. Look, I just have to draw the line there. It's more so at the point. Okay, it's more so the fact that the Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman news just completely throws me off. Look, I love nostalgia just as much as anyone else, but that you doing that literally shows me you guys are just in a complete panic. You're in a complete panic mode. They're even talking about bringing back original Avengers cast members. They're talking, and like I said, they're talking about pivoting from Kang to Doom, not because of this. Well, it is because of the legal. It is because of the legal trouble, but they're really trying to allude to the fact that it's because Quantumania was such a major flop. They don't necessarily know if Kang is the right way to go. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there? Like, do you even care anymore? Like, truly, do we really care? Look, I'm all for nostalgia. I love Tobey. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite Spider-Man movies and one of my favorite movies of all time. Across the Spider-Verse is the only thing that's above that as far as Spider-Man movies go, and maybe movies in general. But I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. It's one of my favorite. He's near and dear to my heart. Literally, the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man was the first Spider-Man movie I ever saw in a movie theater. I still remember it to this day. I stood up the entire time. I didn't sit down. I stood up the entire time, going completely nuts that I get to see my favorite superhero on screen. I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Who doesn't love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? Come on now. Like, that's fucking like duh. I'm excited for Deadpool 3. I'm Logan. One of the greatest superhero send-offs ever. I love Logan. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We all do. But you bringing back these two characters to quote-unquote lead the Avengers in Secret Wars just shows me personally that you guys are just not... You guys don't really have a plan at all. You guys are literally just trying to do whatever you can to salvage this complete and utter fucking mess that has been post Endgame. Like, it's just been horrendous. Now this is basically just me. The title of this video is "What the fuck's going on with Marvel?" I personally am just going to give my 2 cents on the situation and how I am not really excited for the news that I have been seeing. I am not excited whatsoever for Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman to be leading the Avengers in Secret Wars, because one, that just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And honestly, the story building thus far that has been going on has been so inconsistent and so all over the place that it's just like I really don't understand if they even know what direction they're trying to go in at this point. It's just a mess. It is a real mess. Look, like I said, I'm all for nostalgia, but this move, of bringing back Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman screams we are desperate. We are desperate for something to just save us. We are desperate for a move that can possibly put us back on top. And I don't think Marvel will be back on top unless they do it. They have to reboot this thing. They have to just have to either go the straight X-Men route or just figure something else out, because this is a complete and utter clusterfuck at this point. I mean, okay, so like I said, I'm gonna start basically with and honestly, where I really want to start with this whole thing is with and look, I know we got our WandaVision stands out there, but where this whole cash grab, we only care about money at this point, don't really care about storytelling anymore. It all started with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. For me, this is where I really started to see Marvel truly just throw away story building and the world building that they took 10 years to create and have us all hyped up about, and it really started to become more about quantity than quality. Like we're not really getting quality products anymore. And look, okay, well, let me make sure I stay on track. So with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it all started with that, and the reason I'm saying that is because Scott Derrickson literally left due to creative differences with Kevin Feige because of WandaVision's popularity. Scott Derrickson originally wanted Nightmare to be the villain in the Doctor Strange movie, which I was all for, because Scott Derrickson is an incredible director, incredible horror director, and there's no discredit to Sam Raimi whatsoever. Sam Raimi's the fucking man. Sam Raimi's amazing, and he just was brought in to give Kevin Feige what Kevin Feige wanted, and he wanted to build upon the popularity of WandaVision and give fans Wanda again, which we really did not need. It's called the Multiverse of Madness, and all they did in that movie was give us nostalgia factor and Wanda, and they just gave us fan service. That movie was strictly fan service. That's why I said I am not excited for nostalgia, and by nostalgia I basically mean Patrick Stewart coming back as Professor X and these other fucking cameos, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, which was straight fan service, because that, like I said, to this day, that is one of the worst cameos, in my opinion, I've ever seen in a movie. Like, I was so unimpressed by that. I was so unmoved. It was a moment in the theater, and it was a pretty packed theater for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Not a lot of people were even clapping for that moment, because it's like, what? It's like, what? It's like, I get it. He was fan casted as Mr. Fantastic, but I'm like, once he was revealed once that cameo popped up and like he was shown on screen, I was like, okay, well, he's obviously not going to be Mr. Fantastic, because no, that is not how Mr. Fantastic would be introduced to this. Then we had Black Bolt, and then Lashana Lynch's character. I forgot what her character's name was, but that entire thing was just fan service. Then on top of that, Wanda was just not needed in that movie, and on top of that, which is becoming a very consistent thing, the only consistent thing about the MCU at this point, is that we keep getting introduced to characters and people who are just not showing up ever again. The one thing that the one thing that I'm definitely pissed about is the fact that I have not heard from Shang-Chi and since the damn movie came out. That end credit scene has led to nothing, which is another thing. A lot of these end credit scenes nowadays are just leading to nothing. Post credit scenes in the MCU used to be something that we would all be able to just geek out about until the next MCU movie came out, or until whatever project that was leading to led up to it. We were able to it was actually building something. Nowadays, these post-credit scenes just don't do anything for us, man. These post-credit scenes do absolutely nothing. They're leading to absolute bullshit, because it's just a curtain being pulled over our eyes to make us think something's happening and it's never happening again. So I am livid that I haven't seen Shang-Chi since he's been introduced to the MCU. Shuri, not even sure when we're going to see her again as the Black Panther. Not even sure when that story will be continued. And that's the other thing. At this point, I think, let me make sure I check this. I think Avengers Secret Wars is scheduled for 2027. And that's the other thing. That movie is scheduled for 2027. You know what's scheduled for 2026? The Kang Dynasty. You know what they're planning on doing? Scratching Kang and swapping it out for Doom. So I'm guessing that Secret Wars, they're just going to scrap that Avengers film and just go ahead and just move on to Secret Wars, because I guess Kang Dynasty ain't happening no more. Which, like I said, it's due to the legal trouble, but as I was previously saying, the other reason for that was because they're saying that Quantumania was a complete flop, and they feel like Kang just isn't the right direction to go. Kang was not what was wrong with that movie, and while a lot of people do complain about the way Kang was taken out by ants, like that, the only positive that anyone had coming out of that film was the fact that Kang was amazing. Like, Jonathan Majors' Kang was awesome. He was great. He was an incredible actor. Even now, him as Victor Timely and these Kang variants in Loki that's going on right now, he's doing an amazing job. But it's just like with the legal trouble, and then like I said, they're just alluding to the fact that Quantumania was a huge flop. They really thought they had something there and it didn't happen. And honestly, the problem, the major, no pun intended, the major problem with Quantumania is the fact that there was just no huge loss. You cannot start your phase with the big bad villain and there's no loss, there's just no tone setter for truly what Kang can actually do. It's like, yes, we got the little comedic thing at the end where Scott's like, did I actually stop Kang? He said there was more of them coming back. Maybe everybody's screwed. Nah, maybe we'll be okay. You know, it's Paul Rudd, and that's pretty funny and all, but look, that's really setting an inconsistent tone of how serious we should be taking Kang. I'm telling you, nobody gave Thanos that kind of treatment. Nobody gave did I really just mess everything up? Nah, maybe not. No! Anybody that kept hearing Thanos' name, anybody that kept bringing Thanos up, you saw the fear in their eyes. You saw the chills that ran through people's bodies when Thanos' name was mentioned. That is just not how we have treated Kang thus far. Like, nobody is giving Kang that treatment except Loki. And that's the other thing. Literally, while as amazing as Loki has been, as I'm watching the series, I'm just like, well, what the heck is going to follow this? Because Loki is the only series that has treated Kang with actual urgency and just like, you know, we're scared of this guy. Like something needs to happen. We need to stop this guy. Loki's the only series that has treated that like that. The rest of these series have either not mentioned Kang whatsoever, or like Quantumania did, they just skipped over it. And even on top of that, the Guardians project that came, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which as amazing as that was, I'm not really necessarily mad that didn't have anything to do with Kang or really allude to any Kang-esque things, because that was James Gunn's farewell to the MCU, which awesome, because I do believe wholeheartedly that James Gunn's DCU is going to beat Marvel out at some point in time. Like, whether it be with Superman Legacy starting or, you know, 2 or 3 movies down the road, James Gunn's DC universe is going to absolutely beat Marvel. And I think they know that. And they're completely terrified. That's why they're pulling all these nostalgic moves out of their ass, because they just don't know what to do. I mean, look, all the projects that have come out post-Endgame have not been received well whatsoever. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder, everyone damn near hates that movie. It's not a very good movie. And honestly, let's just address the elephant in the room. They're even planning on doing a Thor 5, and they were saying that Chris Hemsworth was saying he's not returning if Taika Waititi is coming back, so they fired him. But it's like, honestly, why does Thor have 5 movies? Why does Thor have 5 movies and Shang-Chi has 1 and haven't come back? I'm like, look, Thor is a great character, but my God, people, like, what are we doing? We don't care about our characters anymore. They don't care about the world building. They don't care about the story anymore. It's just all an inconsistent mess. It's all over the place. I mean, look, to this day, we still don't know who the freaking Avengers are. Now, maybe Captain America, Captain America 4, I forget what the actual title of that movie is, but Anthony Mackie, maybe that will start to kind of guide us in a direction of, you know, where we're supposed to be headed here with our Avengers leaders and who are going to lead the Avengers and things like that. But if I'm seeing reports about Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman are supposed to be leading 2 different multiverse teams of Avengers, I'm just very confused by that, because one, Tobey Maguire literally called them a band.
The Avengers. Yeah. That's great. Thank you. What is that?
In No Way Home. Like, what? Like, what? Like, he doesn't know who the Avengers are, so how are you, like, what could you possibly do from now to, I mean, you could probably do a lot, but it's just from what I've seen, I don't really see how they can, from now to 2027 or 2020, whenever this damn Secret Wars movies come out, how are they going to convince us that Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman are supposed to be the leaders of the Avengers? Now, Deadpool 3, is supposed to be MCU congruent, so maybe that will open everything up. But then even that worries me, because it seems like they're going to take whatever Deadpool 3 was supposed to be and really take the time to start to build where we're supposed to go in Secret Wars, which, if it's done correctly, by all means, like, let's get to it. But it just hasn't been done. And we even have a Marvel project coming out next month. I'm sorry, not even next month. Next week, The Marvels comes out next week, and I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people aren't excited about it. Some because they didn't like the Miss Marvel series. I liked the Miss Marvel series a lot. The only thing I didn't like was the villains. But Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel is amazing. She's a great character. But even then, I'm like, how am I getting Iman Vellani already back in the MCU before I get Shang-Chi? Like, where is Shang-Chi? Where is Shuri? Where are these characters that we're supposed to be following? Where is this new group of Avengers that we're supposed to be following now? It's just like, in all these MCU shows, everybody can't keep up anymore, and they don't want to keep up anymore because it's not a consistent story. It's not. None of these shows give us the feeling we're supposed to be watching. We need to be watching this anymore. Like this has just become a complete mess. Honestly, I think Kevin Feige just has his hand full. I think he's got a huge ego at this point. It's completely far gone. And the reason I'm holding out excitement for the Marvels, and I hope I'm saying that in the right way. I am hoping that the Marvels is really good because I really like Nia DaCosta. Brie Larson, I like Brie Larson, but there's a lot of dislike I'm not gonna say hatred, but there's a lot of dislike towards Brie Larson. I'm not 100% sure where it all came from, but people are calling her a very stale actor. They compare her to Utz Chips, which is pretty funny. But I'm very excited for the Marvels because of Iman Vellani and Tiana Paris, who she's fucking phenomenal, and Sam Jackson, of course, and Nia DaCosta. But then there was a report from Nia DaCosta that my friend showed that said that the Marvels is a Kevin Feige production, which is not a good thing. If you're not letting directors do their thing and you're not letting them build the stories that you want them to bring to life, and you keep butting in every 2 or 3 scenes to follow your stupid whatever you're trying to do, it's just going to become a complete clusterfuck. And I think Kevin Feige's just completely lost vision for what vision. That's another thing. Are we supposed to see White Vision again? Is he ever going to pop back up? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like we are just taking these characters, and America Chavez as well. That's somebody who I feel like we're never going to see again, which sucks because she was pretty decent in the movie. It's just Multiverse of Madness was just a complete mess. Like I said, for me, that's where all of this started, and all this worrying for the MCU really built up for me, where it's like, okay, you guys are not building consistency whatsoever. Like I said, Loki is the only show that treated Kang like he is the badass that he's supposed to be. And even then, like I said, the last 2 episodes of Loki I have not seen. Episode 5 just dropped yesterday, so nobody's seen the last episode 6 yet. But even when Loki ends, it's like, where are we going from here? Because now that they're saying they're going to swap from him to Dune, is that just going to happen in this series? Like, when is that change supposed to happen? What are we even going to say happened to Kang at this point? How are they going to write him off there? It's a lot of storytelling and a lot of writing that they're going to have to do to kind of convince us in a way that seems believable. And just with the way everything is going now, I'm not really going to believe anything that's going on at this point. Like I said, they are in complete desperate mode trying to bring back the Avengers, and there are so many just articles coming out talking about just how in crisis everything is. Like, this is, like, I'm seeing here, it says Loki season 2 finale will set up Kang as Avengers 5 villain. So are they still planning on doing the Kang Dynasty? How are you planning on doing that if you're talking about replacing him with Doom? This one here even says that Shang-Chi and the Eternals MCU. Oh, that's another thing, the Eternals. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I was not the biggest fan of the Eternals. Not that I don't want to see those characters again, because I kind of do. And that's like, it's not Richard Madden's character, but Jon Snow, the guy who plays Jon Snow, which I'm so sorry I forgot the actor's name, but his end post-credit scene in that in the Eternals. Probably ain't gonna lead up to anything because that's supposed to be leading to Blade, and I'm pretty sure Mahershala Ali is done with Blade. I'm pretty sure he's not even, if they even bring up Blade, he's just gonna roll his eyes and be like, "No, I'm good. I don't want to do that." It literally says right here, the Marvels went through 4 weeks of reshoots and director troubles. It's just everything that is, everything that is being presented to me in these articles as far as the MCU, and they're calling it a crisis at this point, because that's what it is. It's truly a crisis. We spent 10 years of just the most magnificent world building and storytelling in an MC and in a superhero cinematic universe possible. Like, they did such a great job, and now they've just lost it. They have lost all of our attention. They've lost my hope in the MCU. Like I said, my hope truly got lost once I saw that they were talking about bringing Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman back for Secret Wars. Because, first of all, Tobey Maguire is going to be like 50. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe not 50. How old is Tobey Maguire? Let me look that up. Tobey Maguire's age. Oh my god, no, he's 48. No, yeah, wait, come on, man. We're gonna have now I don't know how old Robert Downey Jr. was. I don't necessarily know how old Chris Evans. Well, Chris Evans is not 50, but I don't know how old Robert Downey Jr. was. When he was leading the Avengers, but that's Iron Man. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is not meant to build. I'm sorry, not meant to lead an Avengers group. If you said Tom Holland, that'd make a little more sense. But Tobey Maguire, no, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then just Hugh Jackman with all the like I said, he was really supposed to be done with this character after Logan, and him coming back for Deadpool 3, I'm not mad at whatsoever, because him and Ryan Reynolds are great friends, and the Deadpool Wolverine dynamic, I feel like, should be on screen at least once. We should be able to see that. But after that, it's like, okay, if you guys are planning on rebooting the X-Men, how are we bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? It's just, see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, we still don't have a Fantastic Four cast. There was a report that literally came out that said that Marvel was forced to give out Fantastic Four news when they weren't ready to present it. It's all a mess. It is all a mess. And even then, I saw 2 weeks ago Kevin Feige talking about he wanted to do a soft reboot after a certain point. And it's like, dude, you don't know what you want to do at this point. You have completely just fucked this up. And I think the first step to recovery is admitting that you fucked up, and you need to bring in a completely new writer's room and just figure out how to make this all better. Because, guys, I'm really scared for the future of the MCU. But as far as superhero shows and the superhero genre in general, I don't think it's dead. Now, there's a big superhero movies are dead crowd that are literally just waiting for everything to implode and everything just to be destroyed. Like I said, I got nothing but faith in James Gunn. James Gunn has not given me a reason to not hope for that Superman Legacy is going to be amazing and that his DC universe is going to be fucking fantastic. The only problem is they're still letting Aquaman come out in December, and that's one of the worst trailers I've seen all year. Oh my god, that trailer is so fucking frustrating. But nonetheless, they got to figure this out, because I'm worried. I'm worried about the MCU very badly. But look, all I know is everybody's still waiting on Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's gonna be fucking fantastic. Invincible's still on TV. We still got The Boys. You still got TMNT. They're definitely superheroes in a way. And then, like I said, James Gunn's DC universe. So superhero genre is not dead, but Marvel is definitely not. Marvel is definitely heading in towards the direction of just nobody gives a fuck anymore, and you got to salvage it, guys. Look, honestly, I do want to look at Marvel's upcoming projects after. Okay, so it's Brave New World. That's what it's called, and actually, that's next. Yeah. So look, we got the movies that are supposed to be coming out is Captain America: Brave New World, which I believe can lead to something hopeful, maybe not. Deadpool 3. We have Thunderbolts, which I don't think that movie should be made. I think they need to scrap that. I'm not sure if that's going to lead to anything. Blade is still sitting here. Yeah, look, I'm getting discouraged even looking at this thing because the only projects I'm looking forward to are... I am looking forward to the Marvels, but I'm not eager to... But as far as it building a story as to who the big bad is and, you know, moving on with that, I'm not very hopeful in that. Captain America Brave New World, we'll see. Then we have Avengers Kang Dynasty. Then we have... Deadpool 3 comes out before that. And then we have Kang Dynasty. Then you have the Thunderbolts. Then you have Secret Wars. Then you have Madam Web, which... No. And then Blade, which I don't even think is getting made at this point. So, yeah, no. We're heading in the direction to where Marvel is... Well, we've already been heading in that direction, but we are truly heading in a direction where just it's getting bad for Marvel, and they just got to figure this out. So that's my rant. Yeah, I was gonna say it's damn near more than 2 cents on that. That's my 10 cents on just what the fuck is happening with Marvel, and do I have a solution about how it could all get better? Not necessarily. I know I'm not really helping without... I mean, it's not like they would listen to me anyway if I did have a solution for how they could fix all this, but I'm just... With all this news that's coming out and the fact that Loki's about to end and we have the Marvels coming out, and then at this point it's kind of like, okay, what do we do from there? Because I know once the Marvels comes out, whatever reaction that movie gets, that's probably truly going to determine what the hell is about to happen with the rest of this MCU, and then especially the Jonathan Majors case, but it seems like they want to move on from him. I hope not. I honestly hope he's innocent. I'm gonna hold my judgment out until, you know, the verdict happens, but I really hope the guy's innocent because he's a damn good actor. But I'm gonna just leave that alone because I don't want to get anybody, you know, up in arms. But look, let me know in the comments below, guys. What are your thoughts on the MCU in general? Where did it all go wrong? Where did it start? What a lot of people are probably going to bring up She-Hulk, but I didn't mind She-Hulk at all. I actually love Tatiana Maslany and She-Hulk. But look, guys, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on where it all went wrong, just where you think the MCU is headed. How do they fix this? Please, let's get a conversation going. Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. Also, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff and so much more, guys. I really do appreciate you for watching, though. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.